I grew up in Rossdale Street, Portland. I was buying a house there and Sandy came, knocked on my door and said Alcoa was building out on the sites. We didn't have any protection for sites all those years ago. There was kitchen middens and where our people lived and ate and slept and gave birth to babies and just fought the white man. The invaders, I wouldn't care who it was. So we went in and fought them. We went and camped there and got death threats and everything. And my two children were with me, they were still at school. So I just got them out and took them out there and we lived out there. I don't know whether it's the attitude of the small town people that judge my people, you know, the Aboriginal people. I can't stand people judging people by the colour of their skin and who they are. And that's what it's like in this town today. When we started the fight, we got judged by the hotels, barred from the hotels, different shops, they'd look at us. We'd look at, there was campers on the beach that were wanting to work there. We were abused by the campers. It was ugly, a lot of people, a lot of fights. And I often think, where's the union? What happened with the unions when we were fighting for the sites and stuff? It was just incredible. The feeling was, that's 60 years ago, and I still think about it. Well, whether you're fighting or not, you're still the fighting Gunditj Mara people. You're judged by it today, whether it was 60 years ago, 100 years ago. See, when they first invaded here, they came in and killed and slaughtered and invaded the land for profit. But this was our home. It was our home. Our, you know, whether we had sheds or whatever, we had our house here on the land, and that's very important. I was furious because they were building on the sites out there, and Alcoa, a multinational company, building on the sites. No respect, nothing about our sites, you know. And we were two little Aboriginal women who weren't even respected by them, weren't even respected by our own community because they called us shit stirrers. But we fought them for our rights, and that's 60 years ago. And they're still wondering why the hell we did it. Our community, different ones in the community. They would be disgusted that we were sitting here like this. They'd be saying, oh, big shots. You're still doing it. But we have to let them know. So to the community and everybody out there, this is what we were doing. We were fighting a multinational company. I lost a house, still getting death threats, still getting nearly run over and absolutely disgusted. Sandra's in the hospital ill. I'm there, out there, still fighting. She's still fighting, and we'll never give up. But we are looking for the rights of Aboriginal people throughout the whole of Australia, for their rights. The land is very important to people. It's a spiritual belief that for country, for anybody, especially for the Aboriginal people, especially for myself and Sandra and all the fight we did for the land. It's still here today. When we started the fight, we took it to the Supreme Court and didn't get standing. The standing, I didn't know what that meant, but to be heard in the Supreme Court knocked us back, and Sandra looked at me and she said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, you know, what do you want to do? And she said, well, we'll go back and do it again. So we went back and got standing to go to the High Court of Australia. And we didn't have any legal representation because the Aboriginal Legal Service, they came in and they dropped off and then they got bigger, the fight did. And then we got another big firm. There was 5 judges that made the decision, and we got standing to hear the Court of Australia, what they were going to do, the High Court of Australia, or otherwise we were going to go to the World Court. If we didn't get standing from the Supreme Court to go to the High Court, if we didn't get standing in the High Court of Australia, we'd go to the World Court. the High Court of Australia recognised us as prior owners of the mission, what our fight was, our land out there the multinational companies built on, Alcoa, and that was it. We did not want to settle, we still wanted to fight. And they settled. We were forced to settle because they withdrew and we had nowhere to go. Well, I had nowhere to go. Sandy didn't have anywhere to go, so we just had to let them deal with it. Well, I've never lived anywhere else. This is my hometown. Portland's my hometown. This is where I grew up. I went to school here, I went to Old Palmer Street. From there, I had the chance to go to high school, but because of Borthwick's closed, and Dad and Mum and them moved back to the mission, so we moved back there. We had nothing. My education stopped. And I wanted to go, but I couldn't go because I had no home. I was out the mission. And we are prior owners of Australia. We need our rights full on, and it's still not right. You know, we've got young kids, grannies. You know, I'm a great-grandmother. Sandy's a great-grandmother. So where's our rights? So come on, government, get it together and address the urgent issues of housing, health, education, everything. State government, what are you doing? Federal, Commonwealth, where are you?